Another day, another Advance of Zeta model kit, and this time it's the Advance of Zeta reboot Gundam TR6 Wondwart with the Psycho Blade. The model on the right is actually a custom I did a while ago, even before the announcement of this kit. And I was not surprised that they did this, but this is actually very different, if not an improvement, compared to the original version. So the mobile armor mode. The box says that you really can't do this with the brand new thigh builds, but I still did it. It's just that the parts that extend the thighs on the sides don't really extend all the way because it is hindered, but it's still the same mobile armor mode. The glow bug, the bug looking thing. Just remember that the thighs on this thing actually has the reactors, so yeah, that's why the thighs are so big. And the dick arm is actually still functional in this mode. Nothing too special really, so let's move on. So you get a long blade rifle, you get an action base, you get the parts to transform it into the mobile armor mode, you have a piece of wire, you have 2 open palm hands, 2 closed hands, and the Wondwart itself. And you also have almost all the parts to create the original Wondwart head, except for the chin part, which is kinda shit if you think about it. I understand. So this is how the parts are laid out and how they attach together, as you can see. So of course, for all the customizers in the audience, this might be a helpful tip for you. Now let's move on to the reason you actually buy this kit, the new parts to make it into the Psycho Blade Custom. So you get almost an entirely new head, you have new back armor parts, and the most important thing here is the new inner frame parts that go inside the thighs. The leg parts, the stealth things, those are still the same that from the original Wondwart. This is actually very smart on Bandai. It makes the shape very different, but it's so simple. They just made the joint on the original Wondwart that didn't go too far forwards, that makes it in the chicken leg look, and they renewed it, and they actually just made it go forward, so it now has the ability to do the chicken leg look. And here it is with the armor, as I should say, and as you can see, it's the ability to do this that actually makes it very different, even though it's just the same. And as we can see here, this is the Wondwart in its full glory. But what exactly is the Wondwart? The TR6, also known as the Wondwart, was a development project under the Titans, which main goal was to enable standard integration of any mobile suit armaments and limbs, which can decide the type of battle. The Wondwart is a small mobile suit which is used as a control unit to operate various enhanced equipment. All TR6 retrofits take advantage of the sturdiness of the drum frame. As seen earlier, it can transform into a mobile armor mode. Its cockpit is also its own escape system called the Primrose II. Alicia Zabi is a girl who is said to be the president of the Legion government that governs Side A, Arcadia City on Mars, and the descendant of the Zabi family who ruled the Principality of Xi'an that once rose the Side Free. Gloria Zabi is one of the descendants of the Zabi family, who follows her sister Alicia's every move. During Alicia's 1-month rest period, known as Cocoon Entry, she manages her organization on her behalf. She continues her efforts to develop Mars, which is ruled by her sister. With her blind faith in her sister's policies and her ideas, she acts as a royal advocate. For that reason, she is on par with Alicia, and she is deeply trusted by her subordinates in the Legion army. She herself is an advanced human with new type abilities, and she has excellent skills as a pilot. This is evident due to the fact that she owns her own Gundam TR6, and that she takes it to lead directing battles in times of emergency. A good example of her success is the offensive and defensive battles at Phobos Spaceport, and Sordy's inner base defense form, commonly known as the Queenly. The Psycho Blade custom namesake of this mobile suit mounted on the forehead of this MS is used to receive psychomic communication. This is a form of communication that isn't affected by minuscule particles. Build a link with the Alien satellite system and communicate with other mobile suits on the battlefield like the Barzam II and the Ewok Kehar II. Now with all that lore shenanigans out of the way, this is me comparing my own custom Psycho Blade Wondwart that's using the original Wondwart as a base compared to the brand new TR6 Psycho Blade Custom. And as you can see, they are very different, especially in the height. Even though they're using the same type of armor, thanks to the inner frame inside of the legs, it actually makes it shorter, which is actually more accurate. if you think about it more, since the Wondwart was supposed to be smaller than the RX-782. And comparing the heads of these two, the Wondwart on the Advanced Zeta Flag of Titans version that I'm using on my custom, which was the basis of the original Wondwart, is a very different shape compared to the new reboot version of the Wondwart, which is actually supposed to look more modular compared to the original. And as you can see, I stripped almost everything apart except for the heads, and this is how different it is. If you're going to ask me what is that Psycho Blade, it's actually taken from the Gundam TR1 Heisenblade Rod 2, and I just sticked it on top of the forehead of the Wondwart, the original one. And here it is once again compared to the brand new version. And yeah, the Bandai version is definitely leaps and bounds better compared to the one on the Heisenblade Rod 2. But to be fair, it was a different art style, and therefore it's probably different as well. Probably. I don't really know at this point. But yeah, here is a proper comparison of the two heads. Speaking of Flag of Titans Wondwart, here we have the Flag of Titans Wondwart. Well, Flag of Titans Wondwart, basically AOZ1 Wondwart. This is actually a painted custom, and there it is compared to the other Wondwart, the Advanced Zeta Reboot version. Jesus, these names are so long. And as you can see, the height definitely is different. And comparing it, this is an improvement compared to the original one. And I like the original one. It definitely has its own charm. I mean, it's not really that different. But thanks to the new inner frame parts on the brand new version of the Wondwart, it does make it smaller, and it does make it look a little bit more line art accurate, because the legs on the Wondwart on some art does have it looking like the chicken legs. So yeah, this is better in my opinion as a mold. And well, the Wondwart was, I think it was a 3-year-old kit at this point, being redone into something that is so simple, but just made it so better for me. It's good. I do hope they redo this Wondwart in this style, and I'm sure they probably will. But the only thing I am sure is we're gonna talk about later, basically the Barzam II using this title of Wondwart. But yeah, I'm just gonna showcase these two Wondwarts to you, so feel free to enjoy the chill music. If you skip the showcase part, there's a part there where they touch their tips, if you know what I mean. Anyways, I have a Patreon page now, and if you want to support my channel, feel free to do so. I also have a Twitter, which I'm very active on, so if you want to interact with me, go there. I also have a Facebook page, and I do have an Instagram. And I am accepting custom gunpla commissions, from FSV stuff to OC stuff to customizing stuff, something like that. So yeah, if you want custom gunpla done, well, feel free to hit me up. I could send you my Discord username or an email. Let's see. And anyways, let's get back to the lore. So I have the Barzam and the Barzam II. If you have followed Advanced Zeta Reboot, you pretty much know where this is going, or if you watched my video about the Barzam II. It's actually in my channel, and I'll leave it in the link in the description so you can check that video out. But anyways, why is it relevant here? Well, Bandai did advertise that you can use the TR6 Wondwart, the Wondwart here, with the Barzam Advanced Zeta Rezeon version, and you can make your own kinda Barzam II. They don't want us to have the Barzam II yet, but we all know it's gonna release soon. These are the joints that connect to the arms when you transform the Wondwart into the trans mode. What the hell is the trans mode? Well, the Wondwart TR6 trans mode is basically the Wondwart folding itself up to accept other limbs from other MS. It's probably some super robot thing or something real robot thing. I forgot how it specifically does it, but I do remember this panel where it does equip the low sack arm on itself, like a gatai style. It's probably pretty hard. It goes pretty hard, man. And well, here is another example of its trans mode. And this is the Barzam II, kinda. It's missing the parts of it on the chest that actually make it the Barzam II. But yeah, that is the trans mode of the Wondwart TR6. The Wondwart in lore can actually accept limbs all the way back from the gym, and it actually is called the light mode. I think you can dig it up on the Advance of Zeta Dengeki hobby site. But yeah, this actually does work, sorta. And here it is compared to my own version of the Barzam 2, which is actually using the Titans version, the movable frame version of the Barzam. Remember, the Barzam on the Advance of Zeta version is using the drum frame, and therefore these two have very different proportions. As you can see, the arms are actually very different. The ones on my version are using the Barzam sharper version, and it also has the thicker legs compared to the original, or well, the Advance of Zeta version. Even if Bandai does eventually do their own version of the Barzam 2, I'm still happy with my own version, because it is a different style since it is using the Barzam limbs. And here it is using the original Wondwart. The thigh connections on the original thighs were actually a bit too low, that's why the lace looks so long, and that's why they redid almost the entire inner frame of it. Well, do you want to buy this or not? Well, the real question is, how many do you want? Since you're an Advance of Zeta fan, of course you're gonna buy a lot of them. But yeah, this is a very big improvement compared to the original Wondwart mold. And if you can secure it, go ahead. If you can get multiples, that's actually even better because you can do a lot of more Wondwart variants using this version of it. And well, thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you soon, hopefully.